All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on an invisible force that, well, basically powers our entire modern world. It's a simple, super elegant principle that dictates how everything from your TV to your toaster actually works. Let's dive into the genius of Ohm's law. I mean, think about it. You plug in your phone, and that little charger knows exactly how much juice to send. It's this perfect balance, right? And it's not magic, it's pure physics. By the end of this, you'll get exactly how it pulls it off. Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. We've got 5 simple parts. First, we'll get the main rule down. Then we'll meet the 3 key players involved. After that, we'll look at the magic formula that ties them all together, see it in action, and finally talk about where it works in the real world and where it doesn't. All right, first up, what exactly is this golden rule of electricity? Well, it all started with a German physicist named George Ohm, who figured out this beautifully simple relationship that just explains how electricity behaves. So here's the official definition. Now, that sounds a bit technical, but the key phrase here is directly proportional. All that really means is that the flow of electricity, the current, is directly linked to the electrical pressure, the voltage. Seriously, think of a garden hose. If you crank up the pressure at the spigot, more water flows out. It's really that simple at its core, and it's the foundation of pretty much all modern electronics. So to really wrap our heads around this, we need to meet the 3 main characters in this whole electrical drama. Once you understand how voltage, current, and resistance play together, you've totally unlocked Ohm's law. First up, we've got voltage, which we write with a V. The easiest way to think about this is as the electrical pressure. It's the force, the push, that gets the electricity moving through the wires. If you have no voltage, you've got no push, and nothing happens. It's the oomph of the whole system. Okay, next on the list is current, represented by an I. So if voltage is the pressure, then current is the actual flow. It's the volume of electricity that's zipping past a certain point at any moment. We measure this in amps, or you've probably heard amps for short. And rounding out our trio is the third player, resistance, or R. Every good story needs some friction, right? Well, resistance is basically that. It's the opposition. It's what slows the current down. Going back to our water hose, this would be like pinching the hose or using a much narrower pipe. It makes it harder for the water to get through. So, we've met our players. But how do they actually work together? Well, this is where the real magic happens. This is George Ohm's genius boiled down into one simple but incredibly powerful formula. It really all boils down to this simple idea. Voltage is proportional to current. Just like we said, right? More pressure, or V, means you get more flow, or I. Less pressure, less flow. It's a direct, predictable link between the two. But to turn that idea into a real, usable equation, we need that third player we talked about, resistance. We add that in as the constant of proportionality, and bam! You get the golden rule. Voltage equals current multiplied by resistance. V equals I times R. That is the simple formula that powers our entire world. Now, that formula is pretty simple, but there's a super cool trick to make it even easier to remember and use. It's called the Ohm's Law triangle. Trust me, it's a fantastic little memory aid that lets you solve for any of the 3 values in a snap. Check this out. It's so easy. Let's say you want to find voltage. Just cover up the V with your finger. What's left? You see I next to R, which means I times R. Need to figure out the current? Cover the I, and you've got V over R. It's just a foolproof way to get the right version of the formula every single time. Okay, theory is one thing, right? But let's actually put this formula to the test and see it in action. We'll run through a quick example to show you just how powerful this is. All right, here's our scenario. Imagine we've got a component with a resistance of 5 ohms, that's the funky little omega symbol, and we know that a current of 2 amps is flowing through it. The question is, what's the voltage? How much push is making that happen? So we pull out our trusty triangle. We need voltage, so we cover up V, and what's left? I times R. So we just pop in our numbers. That's 2 amps for the current, multiplied by 5 ohms for the resistance. And there it is, 10 volts. See? It's that straightforward. As long as you know any 2 of these values, you can always find the third. This exact kind of calculation is happening inside millions of devices all around you, every single second. Okay, so Ohm's law is obviously super powerful. But, and this is a big but, it's not a universal law of nature that applies to everything everywhere. It's got limits, and it's really important to know where the rules apply and where they just don't. For example, it doesn't really work for materials like semiconductors, the brains inside our computers, or for components like diodes. And hey, remember that little condition in the definition, provided temperature remains constant? Well, that means it doesn't apply perfectly to something like an old school incandescent light bulb, because as that filament heats up, its resistance actually changes. But hey, even with those few exceptions, its applications are just massive. It's used every single day by engineers designing circuits, by electricians figuring out the wiring in your house, and by technicians trying to troubleshoot what went wrong with a piece of gear. It is, without a doubt, a cornerstone of our electrified world. So when you boil it all down, it all comes back to that one simple, elegant idea. More push equals more flow, all kept in check by resistance. This one relationship is what gave us the power to control electricity with incredible precision. It's just amazing, isn't it? An entire technological revolution, all built on one guy's simple observation. It really makes you wonder, what simple rule or observation being made today might hold the key to unlocking our future?